Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Murtland and Monica Weakley.
What we need right now is a source for great leads, and I found it. It is called Pipeline Pro Tools. So about 90 days ago, I booked a demo with them. And in that demo, we reverse engineered my business. We figured out how many leads we needed to get in order to get to the closings that we want. And they gave me a playbook to use in order to get that. So I've been using it for 90 days. We've gotten 12 qualified leads, and about half of them are already under contract or closed, which is great. And it is right now my number one source for my best leads that I'm getting. I love this thing. I'm about to ramp up the number of leads that I get with them as well. So, and you might think it's expensive, and it's not. So I was looking for something that's very inexpensive, like affordable to everyone, but also generated great leads. We don't want crap leads. So what you do in order to get this, because I called them and I wanted to partner with them because I was like, this is exactly what our audience has been looking for. So they set up something specific just for us, just for Fight Club listeners. So you would go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club. And then you go to the demo, and the demo will show you how many leads you need in order to get the number of closings that you want to get. And then they will give you the playbook that I'm using, my number one playbook for getting leads. And then you can use it too, and we can have happy closings. So go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club, book and go to the demo and get all the leads.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. What's up, Jen Mert?
I am ready to heckle you today.
Oh, I know. I saw you already doing so on Instagram.
Woke up in a fighting mood.
Do you guys know about our Instagram account? If you don't, you better go there.
Get there.
Do some really stupid shit.
I hope you have FOMO.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys, we're so happy you're here. Thank you for joining us each and every week. We appreciate you liking and subscribing. And you know what we appreciate most?
What?
We appreciate when you share Real Estate Fight Club with your real estate friends.
All your realtors, realtors.
Realtors or realtors, if you say it right. It's okay. Another thing Jen and I fight about. That I'm right about. But okay, today, Jen and I are going to duke it out over this question. What is the right way to interview a referral partner? What's the right way to interview a referral partner? Yeah. So you've got a friend that you know that's making a move to a town that maybe you don't know any realtors there. So let's say they're moving from Cincinnati and they're moving to, I don't know, somewhere in Wyoming, and it's just a place you don't have any realtor friends. Although we do have listeners in Wyoming. So what's up?
Hey,
we'll find you.
Yeah, we'll find you.
Yeah. So Jen, how do you go about this?
Well, I like this question because one, I think that most people don't refer enough.
Yeah.
I think
missed opportunity.
Yes, because I think it's not only for people that are moving like out of your area, but you can refer inside of your area as well. So
true.
True.
I know you and Alan are doing that at a high level, right?
Man, that's my favorite thing to do is send a referral because then I get paid and I don't have to work.
I love it. So let's talk first about like the most common is that you have somebody moving, in an area where you just don't know any realtors.
Well, I think what people do, the mistake that people make first is they look inside of their brokerage. And I actually think that's could be a mistake potentially. I think what you really want to do is find the best person for your client. And that could be in or outside of your brokerage.
Yeah. However, if you can't find the right agent inside your brokerage, you might want to ask yourself,
well, what if you are at a boutique?
Understood. Then obviously that's not a possibility. But if you're a big national brand and you can't find an agent that can serve your client in the market,
like EXP, a big international brand. I actually had somebody just yesterday. We're not in Costa Rica yet, but he was like, hey, my mom wants to sell her place in Costa Rica. I was like, I got you. I'll help you.
Yeah, go get
Yeah.
one.
But I just think I think it's really kind of, the goal is to find the best agent for your client and their needs. Right. And so I think some of the questions, even it's easier to refer inside of your market, because you can do a search and see who if it's a listing, who sells the most there, if it's a buyer, who is the buyer's rep most often in that area there. That could be one way. So for me, I want to know production. I want to know their process. I want to know their personality. Are they going to get along with this person? What do you think?
Okay, so backing up, the very first thing is you do need to interview several agents. I think this is the first thing that doesn't happen. I think people grab on to one person and just shove them down there. Maybe don't even, hey, are you open to a referral? And that's it. Guys, it is in your best interest to find the agent that can actually help your client. First of all, because you care about whoever this is,
right?
Your friend. But also so that you get to benefit from the transaction too. And it actually gets freaking done.
Well, I think too, depending on your client, you may want to give them a couple of choices, right?
Yeah.
And tell the agents that, I did one in North Carolina recently, and I talked to 4 real estate agents. We got it narrowed down. It's okay, here's the pros and cons of the top 2. Which one do you want to use? Do you want to talk to them? Where do you want? Because the client that I had is a high D, all the way D, the whole way, all the way D.
Oh my gosh. Which stands for driver, high driver, bottom line.
But they're not necessarily ones that want to be told what to do either, right? They want to typically feel like they have some type of choice, but they want a narrowed down choice. And so so I knew that about her. So it's okay, well, here's some good choices. Here's what's important to you. They're both really successful. Which one do you want? And then she's like, I'll take that one. I was like, okay, great. Easy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's you can, and when your friend says, hey, do you know anybody in Wyoming or whatever, ask that question. Would you like a couple names? Do you want to interview? Would you like me to interview?
Yeah.
And pick one for you. What do you want? What do you want? But I think, one of the first things you can just do is start reaching out to a couple people that are on your radar for whatever reason, and see if they freaking answer the phone and or return your call in a timely fashion. That is step 1. I mean, this you will eliminate a lot. That's a shame. That makes me so sad. Recently down to the Carolinas, I know. And I called the gal, left a quick message. I want to see if you're open to a referral. I want to see if you're a fit. Call me back. Inside of 15 seconds, she texted me and said, just heard your message. I'm with clients at a house. I will call you the minute I'm out. Nice. Awesome. Yeah. That tells me she understands. Did she call you back? Customers. Yeah, sure. Okay, great. She got the referral. Well, and this is what they're demonstrating, right? They're demonstrating their process to you. People say they do things all the time, but until they actually do it, it's do you really do that? Yes. And you get to test them with this. You get to test them. I like it. Yes. And then of course, so what questions? So let's role play. I'm the agent. You've just reached out to me. I'm in Wyoming. This is Monica Weakley. What does this sound like for you? Hey, Monica, it's Jen Murtland from eXp Realty in Cincinnati. How's it going? Oh, good. How are you? I'm good. Hey, I have a potential client that's moving down there and is looking to buy a property. Do you work with buyers? I do. You do? Okay. Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Is now a good time? Sure. Okay, sure. Great. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how you specifically help buyers find the right house? Well, every buyer starts with a buyer consultation. Obviously, I need to understand exactly what they're looking for. I need to understand the motivation. No. Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, you're looking for them to have a process that begins with some sort of consultative approach. Yeah. And really these questions too, I'm looking for their personality. So most likely my clients are like me. If I talk to you, you feel a lot like me, so I think it's going to work. You have a process, you're talking, you're saying the right things, and but then I would said, well, I've been licensed since 2003, and then I, got a cat, and then, the place. Yeah. Right. I would just say, thanks so much, Monica. I'll circle back with you. I am speaking with some other agents to help these people. And that's it. And then I would just circle back and be like, they
decided with somebody else.
Do you care how many deals they do in a year?
Sort of. Yes.
Expand upon that, please.
I think like it depends. So if it just depends, because we refer listings and buyers, and I think that makes a difference. If it's a listing agent, I want them to, I don't know. It just depends. Let me think. Why would it depend? If they are only doing one a year, it's probably not a good fit. But I think you can have a process. If you're doing like 10 to 20 a year, you can still have a process. And then there's also some point where you're doing 800 a year. It's like, okay, who would be the person that's like helping? Because I want to talk to them, and I'm okay with that. I just want to talk to the person who I can like the person that's going to be connecting directly with the client. I don't know. What do you think?
Ask them? Well, I asked them, first of all, would they be handling the business?
Okay.
Because if they are a big team and they don't do buyers, because you asked that question, which was good. Oh, I don't, but my team does.
Yeah. And see, that's what I would say. Like if people call me and they're like, hey, we have somebody moving to Cincinnati, I'd be like, let me connect you with so-and-so. Cause like, it's not something that we would do.
Right. But this is where I'm going to shy away from that, because that buyer's agent is giving now a split to me, a split to the team, and a split to their broker. And that is going to cause, unless it's a certain size, of course, of a deal, I think that waters down that deal too much. I want an individual agent that's handling.
I think you're making a lot of assumptions about how teams operate. Teams are designed differently. So I don't know. Teams
are still, where you have a buyer's agent on a team, they're still giving a split to the team.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that their process is going to be less than if they were on their own. Like we have buyer's agents that we send referrals to. So they're paying exactly what you said. They're paying a referral to us. They're paying a referral to their team leader, and they still have their split with EXP. But like, hands down, they're some of the best buyer's agents I've ever worked with.
And that could be true. It's just, I'm hedging my bets, and I'm going to,
we are going to fight.
Good. I would rather send it to the person that I know is going to be handling it.
But there's also something to be said for somebody whose their sole job is to help your client find something, and everything else is taken care of. I think you have a lot of assumptions in there that I can see why you have them, because like I can see the logic in your head, but what about the other side of it?
I just go with logic.
No, there's a whole nother.
I just go with logic.
No, because if you have like an individual agent, right, that's doing everything and has no support, that's going to be watered down too.
Now hold on. Want to talk about an assumption? Just because you're an individual agent doesn't mean you have no support.
Just because you're on a team doesn't mean you're not going to service that referral client.
Doesn't mean you're not going to service it, but it means you're giving a lot of your money away. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but there are some people that look at the big picture and they say, okay, I'm going to help this referral client because I'm building my sphere of influence. And this person is moving into my town, and the likelihood of them meeting people, knowing people, wanting to then sell their property is high. So I'm going to create that relationship with them and then get the referrals.
It's possible.
Why am I telling you about referrals?
You're not. You're not telling me.
Can we just trade places? Are you a transactional agent now?
No.
Please see me for all of your. I don't know. This is a good fight. Wrong. You're wrong.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's take a break.
Yeah. We'll hear our word from our favorite sponsors. And when we return, who freaking knows what's going to happen?
Well, we're going to talk about referrals inside your market.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. Welcome back. Let's get back to the battle inside the ring. Jen is milling about, making no sense.
That's not even true. You're not making sense. Oh my God.
Hey, real quick, before we move into why would you want to give local referrals? Let's talk about this. One thing to be aware of if you're going outside of your own brokerage, for instance, you're at a boutique brokerage in town and you need to go find somebody else because you don't have existence down there. Being aware of the production awards inside other companies can also help. For instance, in
That's true.
EXP, there's something called an icon award, and
Mhm.
and that agent is doing a certain level of production.
Right.
And so for me, that's that doesn't mean there aren't great people that aren't icons. I'm not saying that at all. But when I have to go into a city and take some guesses, I'm going to start
It's a good
with
place
somebody
to-
that's doing, a
Well,
history of
also
production.
too, a lot of us are friends with other agents in other markets, right?
Yes.
So like,
Yep.
that's why social media is important too. Like, how are you coming across on social media? Because that's where you build trust and people judge you.
It's actually the first place I go when you want to
Mhm.
know my process is I go, if I've asked around and somebody giving me a couple names, I'll go to their Facebook page and see how are they showing up there? Are they into real estate? Is it just real estate? Hitting it hard and nothing personal that I can kind of see. I look for a really well-balanced Facebook page that I can get a sense of who they are.
Shit,
And I'll call
mine
that
is
person all day
not
long.
balanced.
Well,
It's all
I
real
mean-
estate fight club.
no, that's not true. You show all your travels and your
That's
food that you love
That's
and
true.
your life that you're leading. You do a good job of it.
I think too,
All right,
like
so-
if people, we did an episode, I think it was 150 about what's a fair referral fee. And we kind of had a little fight about that too. And so
sure did.
that's a good one to listen to too. If you are
Yeah.
going to make referrals a part of your business, which, I think we agree that it should be. Yes.
It's the best money I make.
Hey,
It's a phone call,
especially
it's
if you're in a
phone call.
market like Ohio and you have maybe family in like Florida or California where their average price is a lot higher. Dang, those referral checks are like more than our regular commission check.
No doubt. And here's another thing to think about. This doesn't have to be business cultivated only from somebody moving out of your market into another market.
Right.
You can, if you have friends all around the country, and we all do, we've got friends that live everywhere, whether they've lived there forever, or they moved there or whatever. You can talk to those people, out of town friends,
Mhm.
via a Facebook friend list. You can post just to them and you can begin educating them as to why they would want your help in identifying and finding a local real estate agent, even if they're moving down the street.
100% true.
You have the questions to ask, how to vet and vet them. What was I even going to say with that? I don't know where that came from. You have the right questions to ask and the way to vet them. So don't think of this as just moving out of town. This can be.
That's a really great point. And I think it's a missed opportunity in most real estate agent businesses. Like they think, oh, well, I don't live here. Like I'm not from here. So I don't have like a sphere or like whatever. Right. It's like, people everywhere.
That's right. But that takes education and purpose. You've got to teach those people what your service is to them.
Yeah.
Because you're not selling houses to them.
Right.
The service is a little different. So how do you
Right.
brand yourself as, the headhunter in essence,
Yeah.
or an agent in the city, right?
Get it. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're
how
going
did you get started on local?
Yeah. The local I really
local
like, and this is really in line with like the stuff that you teach. It's like setting standards. So we have like certain standards in our business, and as most of like we don't take buyers. We don't work certain parts of town. So we have partners in there that do. So if I have like somebody that they want to move like inside of our MLS, and I don't know anybody where they're trying to move, and it's too far for us, I will pull up a search and see who does a number of transactions, who are the top few that do a number of transactions. And to your point, I call them. I'm looking for how quickly they're responding, right? But I do think there's just a little side note, rabbit hole, that we get so many calls about like, oh, I have a referral for you. But it's it's really like, this is 123referral.com. Will you pay? And you know what I mean? So like, make sure in your message or in your text, you don't sound like a spam call.
A business,
like just sound normal. Jeez.
Right. Yeah, that's so true.
It's
hard to even answer the phone anymore because you're taking a gamble, if I answer the phone, which I try to do all the time, but they, and there's a delay, I just hang up right away. I
so
know
annoying.
what's coming. Yeah. All right.
Like,
anyway,
how are you? You want to know how I am? I'm pissed. That's how I am.
How'd you get my number? Oh, it's
I never
public.
asked them that because it's published. We're real estate agents. What a
I
dumb
know.
question.
We've agreed somehow to be called by everyone.
Yes.
By being an agent.
Exactly. What do you do for in your market referrals?
I have standards. I'm not quite where you are on referring out. I still take buyers. We take buyers because Sharon, my wife, got licensed and she's doing a lot of our buyer work.
Hey,
and she's awesome at that, obviously. So we're not quite there. That's not true. We will do geographically. If it's too far, I'll refer it out. If it's, deep into Kentucky, out of northern Kentucky, I will refer it out. If it's Middletown or something a little too far north of Cincinnati, I'll refer it out. And
we
then
just
west
referred
side,
out. I think we just referred out a house that would have been awesome for us to sell, but it's not in our wheelhouse. It was a listing. It just wasn't in our wheelhouse. And it was like, okay, well, we referred it out. Because that's a
big step. I mean, that's a big, brave step in the right direction, I think, for a lot of agents, but it's hard to take. Right.
It is, but you have to think about what is best for your clients. And this is a case for generating so that you can make decisions that are based on your client, generating enough leads so that you're making decisions that benefit your clients rather than yourself. If you don't know how to if you don't know how to generate enough leads, you will normally default to covering yourself first. Yes. But it's not always good for the client. It's not always in their best interest. Because there's some friends that I'm like, I don't want to work with you. You know what I mean?
Because I know who you are. Yeah, right.
So I'm going to refer you out. But it would be hard if we didn't have a lot of other business coming in. You would just take it, like you said.
That's true. That's true. And that's why agents get themselves into trouble, especially in the commercial range.
Yeah.
They take business like that. That's a standard we have. We don't do commercial. I don't do anything less than, probably $100,000 unless they're willing to pay a standard commission on it.
You mean like a flat fee?
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, we're not working for less than $3,000 here in Cincinnati. Obviously, that's a lot of you guys would be like, well, I wouldn't work for even that. I get it, but we live in Ohio, so we do. So those are more our standards. Where I'd like to get to the point where, and we're working to the point where we're able to give those leads to my EXP family tree.
Yeah, right.
Which
that's awesome.
All boats rise with that tide. So
well, and it's a good way to identify agents that would be a good culture fit for the team too, that are maybe outside of the EXP currently, and they want to come in. It's like, hey, look, I get a lot of referrals in this part of town. You work that part of town. Why don't we work together in this new way and go from there?
So when you choose, let's say in Cincinnati, for instance, and I'm sure your town is the same in some way, we are east side, west side, and then northern Kentucky, kind of three areas. And I guess north.
And north.
But how do you that's true. And how do you decide do you decide one agent that you're going to give all those leads to for a certain area that you don't want to go to?
It depends on the area. So it depends on who the agents are, and it depends on who the client is. So my ultimate goal is who is going to complete this transaction and make the client happy. Right. So I want to match there, but top priority. So
it depends is what your answer is.
We have switched roles. I am currently Switzerland and can tell you how to nurture people. And Monica is now the one that's grumpy.
Yeah. If you have not listened to our other 152 episodes, you might be unaware of the fact that it drives Jen crazy when I answer, it depends. And she just did it.
Well, okay. It doesn't depend. I choose whoever is the best fit for that client. Primary. That is my primary objective. Are you the best fit? And inside of the best fit, it's, will you be able to serve that client emotionally? Right? They're insane, probably. So can you get along with them and serve them emotionally? Will you help them reach the goal that they're trying to reach? And do you and part of that is, do you service that area? And so,
awesome. I love it. All right, guys. I think the big takeaways today are, first of all, treat this like a source of income.
I want to challenge
treat it
people
like-
to send out if you don't currently send out referrals in your current area and you're taking on business you know you shouldn't, I challenge you to send a referral and let us know.
Done. Let's
It is
do it. I also
liberating.
challenge you to create a friends Facebook list with your out of town friends and begin to educate them on the service you can provide. It's a really good service. Somebody they trust, kind of vetting out an agent for them. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing
exactly.
service.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. I think that's going to have to be the end of today's battle. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do us a favor and share it, or go to our Facebook page, Real Estate Fight Club Podcast, and let us know, if you have some tips and tidbits that you like when referring agents. Let us know if this is a side of your business that you're focusing on. Love to hear from you.
Awesome. And stay tuned for our tiebreaker after this with his tips. And then
Okay.
Monica and I are looking to partner with you. So if you are curious about EXP and if it's going to be a better move for you, give us a call or a text at 513-400-1691. All right, Monica. Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye. All right, I am here with Scotty Hernandez from Oklahoma City, EXP, and you also have a photography company called Scatterscape. Is that right?
Scatter. Yes, that's exactly correct.
I love it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so your tiebreaker question is, how do you choose a referral agent?
And so I love that question because I love working with referral partners. Usually I try and find someone that's within my group of already referring agents. So in my instance, it would be a group that I'm a part of, which is the Honey Badger Group. It's a organization within EXP. If I can't find a Honey Badger, then I move on to an EXP agent. And if I can't find an EXP agent, then we have a job to do and find one to recruit. But
True.
I will take open referrals, and I usually start by asking how long they've been in the business. Who is
Does
their
that
ideal
matter? What are you looking
Yes
for
and
in that
no.
answer? Okay.
More someone that's willing to learn if they don't know what they're selling or helping sell,
Okay.
or buy, I guess. And then two, experience doesn't mean that you're good to work with necessarily. So I guess what I'm looking for is someone that's willing to use their actual knowledge base and not just put up a front just to get the business. And so a new agent sometimes has already gone through all of the training. They're hungry to keep learning. They're going to treat that client exactly how I would want my client to be treated. And in return, also, you do get those experienced agents that they have a proven system. They're going to put them straight through their process, and it's going to be a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
So really, it
So
ultimately
you're
comes down to-
asking them how long they've been in the business and what else are you, and it sounds like what you're looking for is a little bit nuanced, but what other questions are you asking to see if they're the right fit?
Are they familiar with the area I'm referring in?
That's a good question, Scotty.
Right. So for my market specifically, I guess I could say Oklahoma City is a big metropolis. It kind of bleeds into our surrounding smaller towns. So you can be an Oklahoma City agent, but if I say I need an Oklahoma City agent to sell in Chickasha, which is a town south of Oklahoma City, not everybody knows about Chickasha. And if you don't know how to get along in that town, you're not going to help anyone buy or sell or do anything. It's almost a disservice. So I need to know if you know where I'm sending you.
No, that makes sense. Is there anything else that you're looking for in a partner, in somebody that you're referring business to?
Do they specialize in anything? What's your perfect referral? Some people hate investors, others love it. I love investors personally. I don't like new investors, but yeah. What is your ideal referral? Because if I'm sending you referrals but you hate working with every single one of them, that's not a good referral partner.
Right. Yeah. Those are really good tips. I like them. So you said, since we're talking to you and maybe we have referrals in Oklahoma City, what is your favorite client to work with?
an experienced investor, someone that's not purchasing their first property, investment property, or a move up client. So anyone looking to, they relocated for a job, or they're busting at the seams and they need a bigger place, or luxury second homes.
Nice. That's awesome. And what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Through email and through text. My email is Scotty@HernandezHomeGroup.com. And my phone number is 405-420-1941. I'm happy to help in the Oklahoma City Metro and Broken Bow, which is southeastern Oklahoma.
And also too, your photography company, because it's very unique. Can you give us a little snippet about that?
Yeah, so it's called Scatterscape, and I did not come up with the business. I just ran with it, or the business name. I just ran with it. But we're based out of Oklahoma City and Salt Lake City, Utah. And so we cover Nevada, Utah, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas so far. We're looking to expand into California and Florida pretty soon.
Nice.
So we do drone work, videography, regular still photos, virtual staging, twilight photos.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. I've seen
property websites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why do 85% of real estate agents get out of the business in less than 3 years? Well, the main factor is that these agents don't realize that they own their own business. So my coach, Coach John Kitchens, has put together a free clarity report for us. This is whether you want to earn $100,000 this year or $1 million. This report will give you the clarity you need to thrive in your business and not be a statistic. Go to coachcodeclarity.com for your free clarity report outlining what your success looks like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.